What's up guys, Jonny May here from Piano with Jonny, and welcome to this week's quick tip where I'm going to teach you one of the most popular chord progressions used in pop, jazz, and contemporary music. I call it the sentimental chord progression, and it has this cool walk down in the left hand. Now guys, in today's lesson, I'm going to teach you two ways of playing it, a beginner way and a more advanced way. But before I do this, I want to see how many songs I can play with this chord progression in 1 minute. Let's give it a shot. So as you can see, this progression is used in a ton of different songs. So let's go ahead guys and dive into the lesson. Alright guys, we're going to get started by learning the easy progression. If you're an intermediate advanced player, skip ahead in this video. I'll teach you a much cooler, jazzier way of playing this chord progression. Alright guys, beginner intermediate students, basically we're starting on a C minor chord, C, E flat, and G in the right hand. Left hand I've got a nice open fifth, C and G. Okay guys, this is the first chord, C minor. Make sure this is nice and solid in your hands. Now guys, what makes this chord progression so magical is we've got this walk down in the left hand. Isn't that cool? And what I love about this progression, what makes it so cool, is that all of the other notes stay the same while that bottom note just drops down one single note. So go ahead and play that with me. We've got a B on the bottom this time. All of the top notes are the same. This is called a C/B minor, or C over B minor, and you guys can see the chord right here. These are called slash chords. Basically what this means is you're playing a C minor in the right hand, and then you've got a different bass note in the left hand. And it's a little confusing because the right hand chord is written on the left side, and the bass note, which is in your left hand, is written on the right side. So it's a little confusing, but that's how it works, okay? Next chord is C minor over B flat. You're gonna move that B flat down on the left hand, and then finally this is a nice C minor over A, okay? So the right hand's basically C minor the whole time. And then we go to this beautiful A flat major 7 chord. This is really beautiful guys. A flat, E flat, C, E flat, and G. It's a nice spread out A flat major 7 chord. And then from here we're going to go to a C minor over a G. Basically we're continuing that bass line moving down. I'm going to show the full bass line in a minute here. That's a C minor over G. It's like an inversion of a C minor chord. Okay, this is a really nice, kind of a cool way of playing an F minor. This is your 4 chord if you're in the key of C minor. And we've got F and D in here, and the D is the 6th. Okay, and this is a note that you can add to your minor chords. We're adding a 6th, the D to the chord. Our right hand, we've got the C and the A flat. That's the 5th and the 3rd of the chord. So it's just a spread out F minor, which is quite nice. And this beautiful G7 sus4. And this really kind of turns the chord progression back around. Left hand, G and F. That's your G7. If you're looking at the lesson sheet music, we're right here. And the right hand is C, D, and G. That's called a G sus chord, and that just suspends the chord for a minute until we end up on the G7 like that. We move that C down to B just like that. Guys, this is the beginner way of playing this chord progression if you're sort of on the beginner side. By the way, guys, the lesson sheet music, what you're seeing here, is downloadable and printable for our members at pianowithjonny.com. You can also change the key of the sheet music with our smart sheet music. It is pretty amazing. But let's go ahead and play this chord progression once more, guys, and I want you to pay attention to that left hand descending bass, okay? Notice how that left hand is just moving down the entire time, okay? And this is how we get that sentimental or sort of sad quality, because that bass line keeps dropping and dropping finally to the F, and then we bring it back up to the G sus and then to the G major, okay? So in full, you get this walking, descending line, and this is what gives it that sentimental, kind of a sad sort of sound. A lot of tunes that use this progression will have that kind of sad sound. Now guys, this is an accompaniment, meaning if you're playing these chords, you're using it to accompany a melody. And so what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to play this in different accompaniment styles. You can do things like a waltz style. Okay, that'd be considered a waltz. That would work on tunes like Chim Chim Cheree. Chim Chimney, Chim Chimney, Chim Chim Cheroo. Okay, you can do it in a waltz swing style. That would work on tunes like My Favorite Things. Raindrops on roses and whispers on kittens. Okay, it don't mean a thing. This is a 4/4 swing. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Okay, and so what you want to be able to do is do all kinds of different grooves. Stairway to Heaven, if you were to play it with this. Okay, that works beautifully. Or Eleanor Rigby. All the lonely people, where do they all come from? Okay, so you want to be able to stylize this in a lot of different ways. If you want to learn a variety of styles, in fact, if you want to learn the 5 styles that I just showed to you, check out our full workshop at pianowithjonny.com, where I teach you how to do it in the waltz. Straight waltz style, waltz swing style, 4/4 swing style, and we also talk about how to solo over this chord progression using 1 scale. Okay, and I show you a bunch of soloing techniques, things like turns and ostinatos. Okay, chords or patterns that work over all the chords. So you guys can check that out on your own time. All right, guys, let's move on to the intermediate advanced version of this chord progression. Intermediate advanced pianists, we're gonna do this a little more jazzy, add a little more color to these chords, okay? Ah, sounds really, really nice. So we're just coloring the chords a little bit more. We're gonna start off with a straight C minor, C, E flat, and G in the right hand, left hand C and G, just like we played earlier. But for this chord, for our next chord, the C minor chord, what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep the C on the bottom. So we're gonna keep the C on the bottom. This is called a pedal tone or a pedal point, where that root note doesn't change, but we drop that note in the middle of the chord. So we're gonna drop that C to a B within the chord, okay? So that's kind of the first thing, is we're gonna start here, C minor, then drop the B here. You see in this? C, G, B, E flat, G, but we're going to add a D to this chord. This is called a C minor with a major 9, okay? And it actually has a major 7 in it as well. That's the second chord we're playing, C minor with a major 7. We're also adding a 9 to the chord. So this is the full chord, very jazzy, very beautiful. If you want to play jazz music, this chord sounds great. Next chord here, this is going to be a straight C minor 9. This is quite nice. We're still descending down here. Okay, C, G, B flat, D, E flat, G. And our final chord here, C minor, 6, 9. This is a beautiful way of playing the 6 with your minor chord. And we've got a nice spread out chord, root 5th, 6th, 9, 3, and 5, okay? Lovely chord. Next chord, A flat major 7 is there, root 5th on the bottom. Okay, nice colorful 7, 9, 3, and 5. This is called a rootless voicing. You're going to learn a lot about these at pianowithjonny.com. I teach you all of your rootless voicings. You want to play jazz in these beautiful styles. We're going to keep this chord now and just keep descending that bass line. This is a C minor 7 over G. You guys seeing this? G, E flat on the bottom. It's quite nice. G, B flat, C, and E flat on the top. D minor 7 with a flat 5, or this is called half diminish. This is a beautiful chord. This is going to turn us back around to the first chord of the song. This is played D, F, A flat, C, D, and F. Okay, very nice way of playing your 2 chord in a minor key. And then finally, our 5 chord, our G7, will play like this. This is very nice. This is the G7, G and F on the bottom, A flat, B, D, okay, guys? And so what you want to do is play through these chords, go 1 chord at a time, and really try to grab each of these chord positions. Try to think ahead and think, hey, where am I going with each of these chords? Okay? And once again, we have that descending bass line. Actually, it's not a bass line, it's a middle note moving down this entire time. So it's very, very fun, very nice to play. But guys, the most important thing about this lesson is that this is an accompaniment lesson. So you want to be able to play these chords in different styles, because as you heard at the beginning of the quick tip, there's a lot of different songs and styles that use this chord progression. So you can do this in kind of a pop ballad style. Okay, something like that. Work on tunes like Stairway to Heaven. Okay, you can also have a descending line within the chord. It's super nice. You can play a stride style. Okay, like this, or you can do something like this. Okay, this works on tunes like My Funny Valentine. My Funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine. Okay, so you want to have all these styles. You can do it in a jazz style. Okay, that works on tunes like It Don't Mean a Thing. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Okay, My Favorite Things, this is a 3/4 swing style. You want to be able to play it in lots of different styles. If you want to learn these specific styles, check out the workshop at pianowithjohnny.com. I'll put a link to that below, but guys, I teach this to you in 4 different pop approaches, 3 different jazz approaches, swing approaches, Latin bossa nova approaches. We also talk about different ways to harmonize it, like a contrary motion. Super fun to play. And we also talk about how to improvise over this chord progression. I teach you 4 beautiful scales. Okay, we talk about turns, we talk about ostinatos. Okay, really, really fun, beautiful soloing technique. So I'll put a link to that below. All right, guys, this concludes the quick tip. Did you enjoy this lesson? If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Now I have a challenge for all of you watching, that if you can think of other songs that use this progression, songs that I didn't play, please leave those songs in the comments. I'd love to hear what songs you come up with. And lastly, guys, if you want to learn piano online at the coolest, most comprehensive piano education website, where you'll learn jazz and blues and boogie-woogie and a ton of different styles, and you'll learn how to improvise, how to read lead sheets, proper technique, theory, the full learning platform, check out pianowithjohnny.com. We currently have over 400 lessons on the website for all playing levels, with new lessons added every single month. And also be sure to check out our membership, which gives all of our students full access to all of our courses. And by the way, these are step-by-step courses. So we walk you through all of the styles and all of the technique and theory and tell you exactly which course to do next. We also do live events for our members, a live monthly Q&A, a live monthly workshop, weekly challenges for our members, ear training exercises. It is the full platform. So go check out Piano with Johnny, and thanks for watching this week's Quick Tip.